man should ever tell a female how to dress?
What I've seen here tonight? Hell yeah. Hell no! Hell no! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Why'd you say that?
Because would you wear that shit to church?
I do. I go to church in my living room. God damn it, I wear what I want.
But in a brick and mortar? Hell no! Hell no! So yeah, you do tell a woman what she need to be wearing when she leave the house. Just say it. Just say it. I just say it.
Ain't no man telling me what to put on, and I'm married.
Do you think a man should ever tell a female how to dress?
What I've seen here tonight? Hell yeah. Hell no! Hell no! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Why'd you say that?
Because would you wear that shit to church?
I do. I go to church in my living room. God damn it, I wear what I want.
But in a brick and mortar? Hell no! Hell no! So yeah, you do tell a woman what she need to be wearing when she leave the house. Just say it. Just say it. I just say it.
Ain't no man telling me what to put on, and I'm married.
Do you think a man should ever...
Hey, all right, shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakal Kodash. I want to sing double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. Salutations to the elect. Lord willing, we some of those men and women who fear and believe in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And this video was inspired. Hey, shout out to the brother, the elder brother from the GMS Denver, the elder Halakia. He had passed this lesson along. Well, he passed the inspiration through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for this lesson along, and I wanted to speak on it because he asked my opinion about it. So I was like, hey, a video coming, and this is it. And then you can see the pure rebellion in the nigger woman, these hyenas, right? Which I believe this woman right here, she look like a so-called white woman right here. She might be a Jake. She might be an Israelite woman, but she got more sense than these two nigger bitches, what you see right here. These two hyenas, right? This hyena number one, and then you about to see hyena number two. Hyena number two, the goof, the buck tooth, wig hair, blonde haired demon. You already know nothing but rebellion is gonna come off this nigger woman, bro. You already know nothing but rebellion. And then it's crazy because the so-called white woman sitting right here, she's clearly dressed in a moderate, extreme, I ain't gonna call it extreme, but a more moderate fashion, even though these women got a hood. The one demon got a hoodie on, and the other demon, she got skin-tight clothes on her ass. And they in a complete state of rebellion, right? And these women claiming that they have husbands, right? They claiming that they have husbands, but only one, which is the so-called white woman, is the one with the ring on her finger. And I believe she might be married to a Jake, just looking at her spirit, And first and foremost, these hyenas, they don't know how to be wives, right? They don't know how to be wives. This demon talking about some hell no. It ain't even the fact that she just buck teeth, obese. She got this fucking blonde wig on her head. The white woman, she got a hair that the white woman don't even have on her head. The so-called white woman don't even have on her head. The nigger woman got that on. She's already in a spirit of rebellion already. This bitch is brown as a turd in the toilet with a blonde hair. She don't even know that that's leprosy. You know what I'm saying? That's leprosy to have hair that look like that, and that's not even her hair, right? To show you again the rebellious nature of the hyena, And that's why Apostle Hart, he got it right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you could tell that the Heavenly Father, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, is working through this man, because he gives us real life points. It ain't like Jake just turning around hating on a nigger woman just for the sake of hating on a nigger woman. Look where she at. Look at her rebellious spirit, and look at this so-called white woman right here. Look at her spirit, man. And you could tell she's married. And the question was pointed out, it says right here, fathers are important. Through a female enters life, apparently, through a female enters, and let me read that again, I'm a little excited. Fathers are important through a female entire life, apparently. Comment below your thoughts, and it's actually true. Right here in this world, we have grown in this world to hate and disdain our fathers. But a father's instruction is entirely important, especially if he's a man of the Lord, you know? Because a lot of these men out here, they pumping out babies, but they don't understand the responsibility of having them kids. And even if they do somewhat, obviously, to sustain that child, you're going to have this hyena there, this bitch like a fucking baboon, bruh. I got to pause on that. I got to cop because she throwing me off. This woman right here was absolutely right. Right? She was absolutely right. She was absolutely, not this one. This woman right here. I want to get a good read. This woman right here. She has some sense about her. Right? She clearly has some sense about it. And a nigga woman don't have no sense about it. And again, not only is a father's role in the raising and rearing and the development of the female as well as the male child, right? Even when you get married, right? I bring it out time and time again. In ancient Israel, men had life and death control over a woman, right? Even during marriages weren't equal, right? But see, Esau jumped in the picture, and he's become the man. That's why Apostle Tahar just said it today, man. He was like, look, man, don't get you no hyena, man. Get you a white woman, man. Just don't marry her. You know, and then he went into what marriage in this world is. And marriage in this world is nothing more than a business contract. And you can clearly see that these so-called demons claiming they married, she probably got a long-term husband or just some weak-natured man. Right? Because I don't know, a lot of these bitches is out in Las Vegas somewhere. Yeah, they are in Las Vegas because she had a Las Vegas sweater on. Drinking, gathering abroad, man. Right? Just completely out of order. That's why a man of understanding is I can't even give you the worth of a man, a true man of understanding. And from the apostles to the bishop elders of Great Millstone on down, these men and the brothers on down are men, we are men of understanding. Right? This is complete rebellion. And this bitch talking about, she's like, I mean, the woman gave a great example. Would you wear that to church? And this black, buck teeth, beaver mouth, mutton chop looking bitch gonna come out her mouth. I go to church at home, so I wear what I want to wear. So you know when she listens to her so-called church at home, right? Because she think that that's getting close to the Most High and His only begotten Son. She's sitting there with her fucking titties out, her falling out of shirt, walking around with no panties on, probably got a goddamn moo-moo on, her hair tied the fuck up. She's just looking like shit, some shit that's not important. And the woman told her, you wouldn't go there in a brick and mortar like that, a brick and mortar church, but these demons will, right? And I know the woman's breath smell, and she's all over this woman. Yeah, and she was holding her ground. This woman was like, I'm just saying. No, you wouldn't go like that. Right? Let me hear it again.
I just said. Yeah. Hell no.
Do you think a man should ever tell a female how to dress?
Yeah, see, like the black woman has stripped all authority from the men.
I've seen here tonight. Hell yeah. Hell no. Hell no. Hell yeah.
Why you say that?
Because would you wear that shit to church?
Yeah, that's a black woman. These are all Israelite women. I can tell.
I go to church in my living room. God damn it, I wear what I want.
But in a brick and mortar? Hell no. Hell no. So yeah, you do tell a woman what she need to be wearing when she leave the house. Just saying. Just saying. I just said.
Ain't no man telling me what to put on.
And then this woman's a liar. Even if she's married, she don't respect her husband, man. Matter of fact, let me get this precept right here. I was going to start in Ecclesiasticus 26. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 25, verse, I'll start at 22, man. It says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach, man. I'm going to get that in the GNT. Yeah, this is the book of, Sirach, chapter 25, verse, and we're going to come back and forth through this, but I just want to start right here. Sirach, Salakia. Again, this is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 22. When a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation. And a lot of these women, you know, right, they find themselves supporting these men, and then men wonder why these women are, and when I say supported, I mean, basically he maintained, this woman is maintaining him. So she figures she has authority in that relationship. And what comes with that is what? Arrogance, reproach, all right? What comes with that is what? Arrogance or anger, arrogance, and humiliation. And one way these men in this world are humiliated is by their women's dress. The reason why these women ain't scantily clad per se is because their bodies are out of shape. And nobody's trying to see that shit. That shit ain't sexy. But I guarantee you, if these women had bodies that were pleasing to other men's eyes, right, and it was full of vanity, these women, they'll go out there and do it. And even though their bodies are not looking like that, guess what? These women are still full of impudence and reproach. You can't tell these women shit, right? And a lot of these demons, they end up calling themselves getting married, getting these business contracts, because that's what I wanted to say that Apostle Har had put us on to. Like, getting married in this society is nothing more than a business contract between you and a woman. And then the so-called white man, he's the judge in between that business contract. He's the authority. That's why when you get married, and I've been divorced twice, right? I've been divorced twice. And the second time I got married, I was in a world when I did all that shit. The second time I got married, this demon, she took all my shit. She didn't just take half, she took everything, including my freedom. You know what I'm saying? For a time. So it shows you that it's not advantageous, right? Your man should tell you what to wear, what not to wear. Your man should direct you, because a woman, as it was stated in a book called The Israelites, it says that a woman in ancient Israel, she was under what? Constant wardship. She went from her father's house to her husband's house. She went from her father's authority to her husband's authority. All right? And this shit is out of order, right? And the only one that's in order is this so-called white woman to a point, right? Because I don't know her whole background, but I know for a fact from her first answer, she's a more suitable wife than these so-called black demons right here, these hyenas, man. Because that's exactly what they are, these cackling hyenas, and they get easily offended. The white woman didn't get easily, the so-called white woman, she didn't get easily offended. She told the truth, showing you that the nigga woman is anti-truth, right? She's anti-everything, right? She's anti the Most High and His Son. She anti-order. The nigga woman is completely out of order, you know? And this woman said after seeing what she saw in Las Vegas, and you can only imagine what this woman was seeing in Las Vegas. A lot of these women are prostitutes. They're married prostitutes, right? A lot of these women out here, they want to dress and play the role of a prostitute because it gives them authority, it gives them power, it gives that vanity. They're fed by vanity. They're completely fed by vanity. So if this so-called white woman didn't believe that a man should tell a woman what to wear, after seeing what she saw on the Las Vegas Strip, she already knew it. And we know where Las Vegas is. It's called Sin City. It's full of sin, right? So going back to this precept in the KJV, Sirach chapter 25, verse 22 again, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and reproach, man. A wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh a heavy countenance. And a wounded, Salakia, yes. And a wounded, let me read that again. A wicked woman abateth the courage and make a heavy countenance. Salakia, brothers. Again, it says a wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh a heavy countenance. Yeah, a wicked woman will make a man, especially a man that's out here doing what he need to do, taking care of his responsibilities, because a woman is a responsibility. I don't care how many wives you got, it's a responsibility. And on this side, it ain't no way you gonna rein in an unbroken horse. right? And that bitch, the blonde head, monkey mouth demon, she's an unbroken horse. These women ain't, they so-called, she's talking about they married. But like this guy said right here, it says, he said, I see 3 women claiming to be married, but only one has a ring on her finger. The ones without rings, you see their mentality. Because a demon, she'll say she's married. She'll say she's married because everybody else says she's married, and she don't want to be left out in the cold, right? And the ring don't necessarily represent marriage. Marriage is constituted via sex. That's why the vast majority of all Israelites on this earth are adulterous. We all are adulterous. Because how many of us can say we had a virgin? And even if you do get a virgin, right? Even if you do get a virgin, ain't no saying that she gonna stay with you. She gonna leave. Because of this world, they teach her that she can always do better. And that her being with a man is holding her down. She looking at life pass her by. She don't like order. She don't want to hear that if she does something out of order, she gonna get judged for that. So a lot of times they just leave, right? And you already can tell that these demons, you know, like out of the 2 hyenas, the one that kind of looked like something in the face, she got what looks like to be her natural hair, is this one right here, and she completely out of order. First of all, they in Las Vegas drinking, walking up and down the street, gathering abroad. That shit is out of order. Women ain't supposed to be having that. And I guarantee you that this so-called white woman is out here with her husband, right? These might be her friends. I don't even know. It feel like that's what this whole image, this picture right here. It feel like that they could not be her friends. They could just be some passerbyers, and they see the microphone, and Jake wasn't even talking to her. They just put themselves in it out there. No, I'm married. You can't tell me what not to do. I'm married, right? It's a lot here, brothers. But this, you can tell that this shit is completely out of order, right? And we'll be here all day going through this, but let's get through these precepts, man. It says again, verse 23, Sirach 25 and 23, a wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh a heavy countenance, and a wounded heart, because that's what she'll do. She'll destroy a man's mind, right? A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. And if this woman can't take a simple order of what not to wear, right? And it ain't a man just telling you what not to wear just to be covered in control over this woman, because that authority is already there, right? You tell your woman, hey, don't dress scantily clad out here, because you don't want to get caught up out here. Anything can happen to you out here. Shit, you can wear a fucking a nun's outfit and still get accosted by men. But if you out here walking like a prostitute, you ain't walking like a woman that's married. You ain't moving like a woman that's married. This so-called white woman, she's moving like a woman that's married, right? Meaning that's covered by a man. And the woman don't respect her covering. Real quick, just another precept came to mind, right? Just the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Salakia. On 1 Corinthians, I said 2 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, right? You got this, they call it the Christian order, but it's really a divine order, right? It's a divine order, right? I'll go straight to the point. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the heavenly Father, Yahweh. So the divine order goes, it's the Most High Yahweh, it's Yahweh Shai, and it's the man, and it's the woman. That's how that order go. But in this world, because things have been turned upside down, that order is the woman. Shit, a lot of times these women want to be worshipped as the Most High. They call themselves goddesses, right? In this world, they set up the order of the Most High, His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the woman, and then the man and the children. And sometimes it's the woman, the children, and the man. He's last. You see? So that authority has been stripped from the man. which is understandable because we broke the laws, statutes, and commandments. But they ain't doing that. They just in a rebellious state. They in a rebellious spirit. They not reverencing that, right? Let's keep on reading. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head. Right, and that's why when we praying and prophesying, we don't have our heads covered, right? Because we just honor our head. Who is our head? Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? But every woman that prayeth or prophesy with her head uncovered, right, dishonoreth her head, which is what? Her husband. For that is even all as if she was shaven. And in NLT it says, but a woman dishonors her head, right? Which they ain't want to say it was the man, but we know that the head is the man, the husband, right? Is the husband, right? But every woman dishonors her head if she prays or prophesies without covering her head, for this is the same as her being shaven, right? And that's another reason why the nigga woman wears wigs, because of what? She's bald underneath of there. So she already knows that that's out of order to even look like that. So this bitch was slapped, and he got.
I'm married.
Do you think a man should ever tell a female how to dress?
What I've seen here tonight? Hell yeah. Hell no!
So she put a fucking wig on her fucking head. She put a wig on her, and then you could tell her breath stink because she had to take a beat like, what the fuck? Right? Teeth all jacked up. She's jacked up looking. But they put that wig on their head because they know that that's their glory. And that's the reason why a woman is supposed to be in order. Let's keep on reading. It says, for if the woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her head be covered. For the man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and the glory of the Most High. We are the glory of Yahweh Shai. We are the glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We as the Israelite man, right? For the man is not, let me read that again. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the glory of the man. And these women don't, and we know that a woman's glory is her hair. That's why she wears wigs on her head, right? And then this demon, she got so many demons wrapped around her, she couldn't even see the contrast and the color contrast between her skin and her fucking hair. If the Most High wanted the nigga woman to have, the nigga or the Latin woman or the Native American woman, to have different color hair, he would have gave that to you. If he wanted the so-called black woman to have leprous hair, he would have gave her that. Which he has the power to do these things, right? But that's not the case, right? And she's standing on her feet. That's right. That's a good woman. This is a good woman right here. This is why I'm saying you got to skip over that hyena and go and get you the so-called white woman, man. Go and get you the so-called Latin woman. Go and get you the so-called, and then she gonna give you problems too. But she ain't gonna kick her. I love this saying, right? I'm not into whoremongering, but this guy, his name is Honorable Bradley. You know, the guy asked the Hughes brothers asked him, right? Why you call a black? Why the other women? Why they get better names than the black women? Right? He called the black woman. He called the white woman a WW, white woman, Peckerwood, All American. You know what I'm saying? That's what he called the white woman. He called the Asian woman, Ling Ling or something like that. You know, Asian persuasion, something like that. But he called the nigga woman a hammerhead. He said, cuz. He said, whatever you want to call that filthy motherfucker, man. Matter of fact, I'll get it for you brothers, man. So this is hopefully this a fair use. This is fair use, right? Something that this guy said, it made sense, right? A lot of this times, these dudes, they be talking, they don't be knowing what they be saying. Some dudes do, right? So I want you to listen to what this guy said. Again, I do not promote, neither do do the apostles or the bishop elders or brothers on down, we do not promote whoremongering, what you call pimping. We don't promote that, but something that this dude said, when you deal with women, you have an education in dealing with women. And a King Solomon, he had more than 1,000 women. Well, he had over 1,000 wives, right? I'm sure he had plus concubines, right? He had 300 wives and 700 concubines. So King Solomon knew exactly how to deal with women. That's how he knew he had the ability to tell us and let us know that out of 1,000 women, none of them are righteous. It don't matter if she's a fucking heathen or she's an Israelite woman. None of them ain't right? But out of 1,000 men, King Solomon said one of those men is righteous, man. You see? So again, when you have an education in something, you have and he has this guy, so-called Bradley, right? Honorable Bradley is what they call this dude. He has an education in dealing with women, so he knows what woman is right and what woman ain't right. So let me play this real quick.
Well, let me ask you like a more upbeat question here.
Okay.
If there was any celebrity woman you could turn out, who would it be?
I don't know, because sometimes it don't really be about the beauty of the bitch. It be about the duty of the bitch.
Exactly. Sometimes it don't be about the beauty of the bitch. It's about the duty of the bitch. And guess who was on that first? Solomon. He said, behold not every woman's beauty and desire her not for pleasure. Just because a woman look like something don't mean that you got to beg this woman. Just because she don't look like something don't mean you got to beg her. Right? She got to have some qualities about her to make you want to deal with this woman. And a lot of times, Jake will stick his penis in anything. We've all been there. Hold on, let me get this real quick. Where's she at?
Yeah. Hell no!
Yeah, for a man to even put his penis in that, it got to be something wrong with that man. Right? Even Kevin Samuels said, hey, you got to stop. He said, you men out there, you got to stop putting your penis in women the size of planets that smoke cigarettes. Right? But Jake, you just taught to just fuck any damn thing because you just want to get that lustful feeling off your body. You want to appease that lust. And we all been there burning and y'all here fucking burning, you know what I'm saying? So you ready to release. But you got to have some moralistic, high level moralistic and integrity about yourself. Right? BBD told you back in the day, Belle Biv DeVoe said what? Never trust a big butt and a smile. That girl is poison. Right? So this guy, he was on point. When he said this, he didn't know it, but he was on point.
Okay.
If there was any celebrity woman you could turn out, who would it be?
I don't know, because sometimes it don't really be about the beauty of the bitch. It be about the duty of the bitch. Any old regular, all-American, blue eyes, blonde hair, and dirty feet, Peckerwood bitch at work. You know what I'm talking about? If she got her mind right, not really no celebrity. Pamela Anderson, yeah, blonde, big blonde. That'll give them oil, I look at it for face value, for what it's worth, Chop, anything exotic, you know what I'm talking about? It'll really be cool.
Well, break down, since you talk about chop, break down all the slangs for all the
well, like some like Oriental, some from over there somewhere, you know what I mean? It's kind of rare, you know what I mean, to get one of them and flip it, and you know what I mean? Buddha head, chop.
White girl?
Well, no, that's a Chinese, Japanese.
I'm gonna go down the line of all the girls. Tell me what.
Oh, white girl? Yeah. WW, white woman, Peckerwood,
right.
All American, Almighty Whitey.
Black
woman, duck, you know what I mean? Hammerhead, meat cleaver, you know what I mean? They got a whole bunch of words for them low down dirty motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? But I fucks with them when they fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why the black woman got the worst name, though?
Because the black woman is the worst fucking thing since everything that was put on this earth, man. If it wasn't for the black woman, if it wasn't for the black bitch, we wouldn't even be here. But it had to happen, so it's all good. I'm gonna get that. Let's go ahead and get that, because we out here. Because all this can be backed up, man. It's a lot you can glean. Hey, King Solomon said, look at the ant and see how the ant move, right? And see the things that you can, see the wisdom that you can just pick up from just observing the ant. How much more everything else in the world, man? Yeah, these nigga women think it's just an all attack. It's just an all out attack on a so-called black woman, right? Yeah, they just think that it's an all-out attack just because colorisms. And no, the nigga woman is fucking out of here. She's destroyed, man. And if it wasn't for her black ass, we wouldn't be in the condition that we in today. Here it is right here. It says, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Sirach 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. And that was Eve. And she was a so-called black woman, right? Yeah, so like he said, man, he said, this dude said it, man. He said it, man. Hey, he said it's a lot of different names for the black woman. Hammerhead, meat cleaver. Call her a dirty, low down motherfucker, man. And you could tell, man. You could tell, man. Like the shit is plain as the sea, man. Right? Having a wife, women in this world have lost, especially the women of our nation, the black, Latino, Native American woman. They have lost the understanding and the gravity of being a wife. It's not just so that you can manipulate this man and you have the power over what goes in his stomach and what goes on his back. None of that. It's like it's a worthy thing to be a shame-faced wife, man. Have a wife with shame. And a woman that's gathering abroad out here, scantily clad, and we're just giving this for an example, because that's what was laid out to the question in this video. But fathers are extremely, fathers of wisdom and understanding are greatly important to the rearing of children, period. Especially a man of understanding, a man that know Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Because we're not just moving with our own wisdom. We're moving with the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai, these holy scriptures, these words that are written. The Bible is instructive, right? The Bible is all about instruction and righteousness. But these people in this world, they don't want that. They don't want the instruction and righteousness, because Esau told them that ain't good enough. That's old. That's archaic. That's it's spiteful. It's mean to women. But wait a minute. Hey, the scriptures give you a layout. It ain't saying that the Jake man is all the way together, because we broke the Lord's law, central commandments. We did one of the most grievous things, man. We started going off into idolatry, bro. And dealing with these other nations' idols, man, which they call gods, going against our power. So that's the reason why we even under this oppression right now, because of what we did. So we taking responsibility, but you women, you lack accountability and responsibility, right? You think you need a break from every goddamn thing? You raise your kids throughout the week. Girl, I need to go sit down somewhere and go on a beach and go out to Las Vegas and drink, girl. I'm tired of these fucking kids. You see that? That's what you hear from a black woman. Nothing but constant fucking complaining, bruh. But she don't understand the value of being a virtuous woman. I'm not going to read Proverbs 31. You can read it yourself. Right? These women, they want to live in pleasure and luxury. They don't want to do shit. They just want to sit on their ass, get a fucking maid. The bitch got a nice big house. She want a big house, something good and suitable for her to live in. But then the bitch want to hire a maid to do it. Now, that's understandable. Right? Got to get that balance. In the ancient world, we had servants and handmaids, but guess what? That woman, she knew how to take care of that house. She got to instruct her servants how to do it. They don't just walk up in the house and say, okay, the wife of this man, what should I do? Or my mistress, what should I do? I mean, should I do it like this? No, she has to be instructed. So from a child up, a woman is reared from a child to the time she's able to be married, right? She is taught how to rear a house. She's taught how to raise children. She's taught how to be obedient to her husband. She's taught how to love her husband. Right? She's taught that. But in this world, they've taken a value out of being a virtuous. Damn. They taken on the value of being out of being a virtuous wife. So let me get back to these precepts real quick. Okay? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse I'll start at 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. And that's another reason why you see that. And the black woman, she exemplifies wickedness, man, on her. The white woman is naturally wicked. She's a heathen. But when you look at a wickedness, a shameless woman, you can just see the nigga woman, man. She's a poster child for that. Her and a Latino Native American woman. They ain't far behind her. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And I can tell you right now that these women, their husbands They don't fear the Lord.
Woman, what she need to be wearing? Leave the house. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Ain't no man telling me what to put on.
Yeah, this woman.
And I'm married.
Yeah, this woman claiming that she's married, and she said ain't no man telling her what to put on, and she married. And I'm sure that the man that the simp nigga that she married, she pressured this nigga into getting married. She wouldn't let it go. Right? This fool, he thought this woman was the best thing since sliced bread, and she's not. Right? This bitch is rebellious. You can't even take orders. How could you deal with somebody that can't take orders? That shit is impossible. I couldn't do that even with men. If I have men under me and them men can't take orders, he gotta go. He can't take instruction, he gotta go. But like I was saying, damn, stay. Like I was saying, like the scriptures is saying, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So that's why you see these men out here with these hyenas like that. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. A dishonest woman, contempt of shame, right? But an honest woman will reverence her husband. Let's look at that in the GNT, right? Chapter 26. How you get to it? Chapter 26, right? And 24 in the GNT. Well, they skipped it. They took it out. They took it out. Let's go look and see what the if it's there. Right here it says a godless wife is given as a portion to a lawless man, but a pious wife is given to the man who fears the Lord. A shameless woman constantly acts disgracefully, but a modest daughter will even be embarrassed before her husband, man. And these women, they're not modest women. Neither are they embarrassed in the sight of their husbands, man. Going out with your ass cheeks out, everybody can see what's your husband's, because you belong to your husband. The scripture says the scripture says, right? The scripture says that when a man getteth a wife, he getteth a property, man. Right? He getteth a helpmeet like himself. A woman is property. You are that man's property. And in this world, many of these women have multiple owners. They're like used cars, right? That's all they are. When they walk outside and they advertise themselves, these demons all they doing is advertising used goods and having you spend exorbitant amounts of money. You paying a brand new price for a car for some shit that's already used, right? You go into the used car lot, you get this car, it's all shiny and clean on the inside, but it got like 1,000 fucking miles on it. The engine's about to turn the fuck over, right? But they charging you $24,000 for some shit that's worth 11, maybe less than $10,000. That shit is wicked. And these women out here, they don't reverence their husbands, man. When you look up the term reverence, the definition for reverence, right? It says deep respect for someone. And that's what a woman is supposed to have for her husband, right? High esteem, high regard, great respect, acclaim, admiration, right? Approval, appreciation. These women ain't appreciative. Veneration, worship. That's why the woman calls the man a Lord. But these women, you ain't gonna get no hyena to call you Lord, right? You ain't gonna get no hyena to have great esteem for you. The only time these demons got any esteem or respect for a man in this world is if he have a resemblance of power, i.e. an infinite amount of money, the longest ride that was ever created on earth, right? He got to be simped out too, because he got to be her servant. These women don't want to be servants. They want servants, man. They got all these conditions on some shit, again, and they're nothing but used goods. They're used up goods, for real. I see why Apostle Paul said it's best to just be like him, not deal with no woman, man. Because dealing with these women out here, ain't gonna bring you nothing but problems. Absolute problems. And I'm sure that these men, they probably happy that these bitches is out of town. Because I'm sure they with their side piece. Right? This bitch will be out of town and still be trying to hold tabs on her man, calling a nigga, texting a nigga, while she got another rod in her mouth. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Right? But this woman right here, this so-called white woman right here, she got some sense on her. That's you get you one of them. Because I guarantee you, not every white woman is like this. Because you get them younger white women, when they like 17, between 17 and 25, right before they hit that wall, because they hit the wall a lot sooner than the nigga woman, depending on her lifestyle. Right? So they go on a chocolate bin, they go on a carousel ride. Right? But then eventually they know that they gotta slow the fuck down and they gotta have kids. And they come from houses that have some type of order, but they're rebellious by nature. But even they know that it's time to step on that fucking gas. I mean, step on the brakes after stepping on the gas. Let me step on the brakes. The nigga woman is all gas, man. She don't know when it's time to slow down. Bitch will be 50 years old, still trying to act like she 17. Right? Shit is out of order. Right? And they don't have reverence. They don't have deep respect for their men. They do not. The nigga woman has no respect for the men at all. And that's because we don't have no power. And I always remember something that Apostle Gabar said on a live street preaching. He said, man, women are, I wish I could find this video, bro. Because I know, I witnessed him say it. He said, women are nothing more than a byproduct of power. That's all they are. What's the definition for a byproduct? Right? What's the definition for it? Not a byproduct. Yeah, byproduct. Right? Byproduct is an incidental or secondary product made in the manufacture or synthesis of something else. Unintended, inevitably a secondary. And that's what a woman is. Side effect, a consequence. Right? Women, especially women of status, are nothing more than a consequence of power. Look at King Solomon. All his wives, he didn't marry no monkey mouth hyenas. Right? He didn't marry no cackling hyena. He didn't marry no tattooed, blonde-haired, weird, blonde-haired.
Yeah. Hell no.
He didn't marry. He didn't marry no loudmouth, blonde-haired, wig-wearing demon. He didn't get he had the top of the top, man. And that was because of his power and his wisdom. And obviously the Lord magnified him and gave him that glory. But when he married those wives from the other nations, those were princesses from those other nations, man. And they wasn't no fucking outskirts kingdom and some dirt somewhere and he just grabbed some ooga booga. No, he had a top tier women, bruh. And they were all virgins and they were all young, right? Right? They had just passed the flower of their age, man. And he had them. He ain't married no 40-year-old. He ain't had no 40-year-old wife, man. Right? He didn't marry no 40-year-old princess sitting up in a fucking castle somewhere with nothing to do and nothing on her mind. Right?
Woman, what she need to be wearing? Woman, what she need to be wearing when she leave the house? Just saying.
She's standing her ground, man. I like this so-called white woman, man.
Ain't no man telling me what to.
Yeah, he ain't had no woman telling him, ain't no man telling her what to do. That was not going to happen, bitch. It didn't happen. Again, women are nothing more than a byproduct of power. They're a consequence of power. A lot of these things that you worship today in this world are nothing more than byproducts of power. You worship people who have control over people. You worship men and women who have control over other people. That's just a byproduct of power. Once you come into power, now you got control of the people. You tell them what to do, they move on your dime. Right? You look at somebody with a big ass house or a castle or a palace. That shit is nothing more than a consequence, a byproduct of power. Because if you are a true king, if you are a true leader, you're not going to be living in no fucking 2-bedroom hut. Now, I understand humility. But you got to understand it. Like, people want the perks of being in power because those are nothing more than byproducts of power, right? Having the ability to move an army, having the ability to dictate and not be dictated to. Those are nothing more than byproducts of power. So likewise, a woman is a byproduct of power. And I always remember that, right? We ain't gonna get the best of the best down here. We get what's suitable for us in our office and in our condition because we're in captivity, right? Why you think you see like Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather ain't got no obese women in his stable. Floyd Mayweather ain't got no
Yeah. Hell no.
he ain't got no loud mouth, hyena mouth, gorilla mouth.
Hell no.
He ain't got no loud mouth, buck tooth monsters with glasses on. Right? He don't have that. He don't have that. That's not in his stable. Why? Because he get the best for his station. And his power is in his money and in his influence over people because he was a professional boxer. I'm just using him for an example. Likewise, look at Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos wouldn't have got Lauren Sanchez if he still looked like, if he was, well, he could have. You never know because he's a so-called white man, right? But let's say, like, Lauren Sanchez ain't the best looking woman. But she got her body done, she got her titties done, her ass done. Why? Because she knows that's what's going to keep him. He got divorced from his first wife that he had, and she was a so-called white woman. He got divorced from her and moved on because she didn't represent his station that he was in now. At one point, he was so-called, which he's not really, but according to the public, he was one of the world's richest men. Right? So the world's richest men ain't gonna be walking around with no fucking hyena, no buck tooth, unless you a Rothschild or something like that, and that's what they into. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna be walking around, he definitely ain't gonna be walking around on the scene with something that look like this. Likewise, any man of power. So a lot of times, Jake, you just be settling for anything that you can get. Now, again, like my man Honorable Bradley said, sometimes it's not about the beauty of a bitch, it's about the duty of a bitch, man. Sometimes it's not about the beauty of the woman, it's about the duty. If her duty is up to your standards, man, take her. Ain't nothing wrong with a little plain Jane. You don't need something that everybody else gonna want. You just need something that's gonna serve you. That's it. That's it. Because we about to get the fuck up out of here. You think in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna have our women, the women of our nation, gonna be walking around with leprous hair and glasses and buck tooth and obese and done dealt with 1,000 men and rebellious too? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're sons of the power, bro. Our women gonna be top tier. All of our women. That includes the women of our nation. All of our women gonna be in complete subjection and order. Every last one of them, including our daughters. They're gonna be in subjection and order because they're gonna learn from their mothers. That's how that's gonna be. We're gonna be beautified as a nation. You see? Fathers are important through a female's entire life. But if the daughter is shameless, man, you gotta what? You gotta keep her ass in straight away. Right? I'll start at Sirach chapter 26, verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. And that's what these women doing. They're dishonoring their husbands because they're in their pride, right? And so they're going to be counted as ungodly, right? I'll read this. It says, Sirach 25 and 24, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Yeah, just cut that bitch off, cut that bitch loose. Like my man Nino Brown said, cancel that bitch, man. Cancel her. Get her up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just cancel her ass, man. It wasn't meant for that to be that way, but the world we living in now, bro, hey, it's better to cut your losses while you can. And sometimes it's better to get out before the losses hit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, brother, I saw this video, and through the spirit, I thought I could edify on it. I hope you were edified. I hope you got something out of it, man. Both you brothers and you sisters, man. With that, I'm going to say shalom and on to the next.